And the first thing on the agenda is Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next is approval of the minutes. Yes.
Told me to. Jamie Roll Taylor. He said, push the button so they can hear you. And I did not. Okay. There were a couple of things on the past meeting minutes, and I just wanted to see if we could add to the section where I had dissented to not sign the letter about the Bright Line. And it was just because I wanted to be able to bring it back to the Neighborhood Advisory Committee to discuss, because of course there were concerns about the cost of the project, and then that our community was concerned about the fact that we're now, the county, responsible for 100% of the project. Excuse me. So would like to make that addition as to why I had dissented. There was also a section where there was a question in the public comment section, and there was no answer that followed up. I honestly don't know what the answer was. It had asked about whether or not the city sewer and water was going to be mandated.
I'm not sure what that means, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. It was in the minutes, but there wasn't an answer to it, so I wasn't sure. I would have to go back and watch the video. I have no clue.
If I may, Mr. Chair,
Not yet.
it was my comment.
Okay. Come forward, state your name.
I'm sorry. Gary Erler, Port Salerno. I believe that was in reference to Mr. Graham asking about his water connections. And my question was, since the groundwater is tainted and there's no wells being permitted, are all those connections mandated? Being that if he has to provide it, everyone will, or is that a county supplied utility and right like everyone else? I don't have city water, so I'm not, but as far as this inside the CRA, and that goes all the way back to the Superfund settlement when the county provided water for the people that couldn't use their wells anymore.
So I do have a little bit of information on that for you, Mr. Erler, if you would like. I don't know that the water is tainted. I do know that Mr. Graham did not apply for a permit because we did ask the health department. So I know that other builders put wells in all the time in Port Salerno. The Superfund is what paid to have the cleanup done. That was through a federal program. It was not the county. I think that answers some of your questions, I hope. And if there are more, please let us know and we'll look into that a little further.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. And that may have been the answer, that you were going to look into it further. I don't know. I just saw that there was not an answer, so. And then the only other area was, I had requested that we do find out how the upland facility was going to connect to the sewer, being that our project had not started or been initiated. And you guys did answer that at the last NAC meeting. So
Yeah, you requested that we bring that information to
Yes.
Salerno, so, yeah.
it didn't specifically say the sewer connection, but that was it.
Yeah.
So I'll submit that. That's all I had.
Okay, so after that, anybody like to make a motion with these additions? To approve the minutes?
I'll move we approve the minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Any conflicts of interest? No? Okay, at this time, any other public comments?
Gary Erler, Port Salerno, again. At our last NAC meeting, they brought up Park Drive, Seaward and George's Way, roadway drainage improvements, Park Drive utilities. Estimated construction cost was $484,251, with Park Drive utilities at $28,690. My first question is, when did George's Way get added to this project and why? When this was first brought to the NAC, in the meeting minutes dated 10/12 of '23, it was sewer installation, road paving, some drainage, tree and light pole removal, enlarging the concrete pads for the fishermen, and new signage. Public Works is constructing the project with CRA funding the Park Drive activities. No mention at all, anywhere, anytime, any place, any meeting, any minutes I've been in, any meetings I've attended, has George's Way even remotely been mentioned. Yet, our last NAC, it was put on there. I've also asked for a checkbook balance and how much money we spend in our NAC funds. That hasn't been received in over 8 months. Sewers were never mentioned in that, other than, of course, it'll be tying into the Mooringfield Upland facility. CRA funds, it's being done by Public Works. It's my understanding George's Way is nothing more than a right-of-way, not a navigable street, no homes, no lighting, it's not 2 lanes. Why are we doing anything or spending any kind of our NAC money on George's Way? Thank you.
Would you care for me to answer?
Yes, please.
Mr. Erler, just in answer to the questions that I remember you've asked, the first would be that the Park Drive project included many things going back probably 5 to 7 years. Seaward has always been a part of that. And I can direct you to a very specific PowerPoint where it does talk about Seaward. In many meetings, we talked about it. The NAC, I should say, decided not to go ahead with the parking on Seaward. However, other items were included, and that's what you see in the project today. George's Way is a roadway that's right in the middle of the peninsula commercial area, if you will. It is a roadway that has, what's it called, Joy?
It's a.
Pavement?
It's a concrete pavement, but it's.
Pervious. So it has a pervious pavement now. The problem with pervious pavement is that it doesn't last forever, and after a while, it no longer drains correctly. So that was added because we needed to have additional drainage so that it didn't flood out the properties at the end off DeSoto, which is what has been happening. We added it to the Park Drive project at the request of Public Works. They are going to do the drainage piece. We are going to do the roadway piece. It's an excellent use of CRA funds. It's $57,000. We do have some discretion to decide elements of projects that make sense. This one made perfect sense, so we're going ahead and doing that. Did I miss anything?
Without any public input.
Correct.
Okay, George's Way is a right-of-way between 2 boatyards, correct?
I don't know that it's a right-of-way. All roadways are,
I mean, the alleyway, I'm sorry.
So, 'cause it's being televised.
I don't mean to hijack your meeting by any means. The only people that use George's Way is exiting the post office to loop back around either DeSoto or come back in.
The water drains down to the,
No, I
to the
understand
river.
that. I understand that.
Okay.
But I'm just wondering why it's never been mentioned until 4 days ago. The same way that I asked what the Park Drive money was and nobody can tell me. 8 months.
We told you, we were waiting for the estimate from the engineers. We don't just pull numbers out of the sky. So you have the estimate now. Once we got it, you got it. Things take time, I'm sorry, Gary,
No, I get it. But 8 months I've been asking for a checkbook balance. We got
we
one.
don't have a checkbook. We have a capital improvement plan.
Okay.
Every year, everybody sees that capital improvement plan and approves it. The monies that are in that are the monies that we use to accomplish our projects. So I'm not quite sure what it is you're looking for. If I can help you, please be more specific.
We will have that in February?
I'm not sure what it is you're looking for.
What I'm looking for is money allocated. and
Expenses,
money spent.
expenditures,
Correct.
fine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan.
And just to follow up, because I know we had already brought this up at the NAC, so we knew George's Way would impact Seaward, and that's.
George's Way impacts all of the other roadways
That's-
there, which is why it's a great idea.
And then, so we had just mentioned that we'd bring it up, sooner, to let the public know. But it definitely would impact the other parts of the project, so it was necessary. Thank you.
It looks like there's parking for some of the businesses on A1A also. That probably is affected by flooding and things, I would think, from what you say. Any other public comments? Moving right along, any member comments?
Sorry, about the water quality in Port Salerno. I know they did a study some years ago, UF came in, and I do believe that they had mentioned that the water in our area is contaminated and there are problems. That's why we're all transitioning to sewer. And I don't believe anybody's doing wells, but because of the water quality. I mean, they currently are, if they already have them, but, so I don't know the answer to that. But I do know there's a water quality issue.
Out in the Golden Gate, we have a well.
Yeah, I know those who currently still have wells are still using them, but they did do an analysis, and it was pretty bad in the area.
Thanks to the University of.
Most of the time, and I don't know anything about that, but most of the time, water quality is to a specific area, not a whole large region, based on what's contaminated in the first place. But anyhow, any other comments by the members?
No, I have a quick announcement-ish regarding Port Salerno. Habitat for Humanity, we have got funding to be able to do some roofs for tornado and hurricane victims. Limited amount of funding, but we've signed 3 up. I've got 3 or 4 more on the list to look at to do some more. So we do have a little bit more funding to spread around. If anybody in Port Salerno wants to spread the word and have them call Habitat and ask for Mike, then we will go forward and see what we can do.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Those flyers went fast, Mike.
I can imagine.
Any other members? Staff have anything at this time?
I would just like to welcome Commissioner Vargas to our meeting today.
Welcome. Okay, moving right along. Presentations, CRA Capital Projects Review.
Good afternoon, members of the board, Susan Corres, Office of Community Development. As always, we review our capital projects each month, and I bring you up to date on any updates or new things that are happening. with all of our capital projects. Everything, believe it or not, is status quo from last month, which actually that meeting was only 3 weeks ago, so not a lot of updated information on capital projects. The things that I will point out have all been in our neighborhood enhancement box, and we've completed a few things. Port Salerno has new banners along Dixie. Jensen has holiday snowflakes. I hope everyone's been enjoying them. They look fantastic. And Golden Gate has some Christmas banners on Dixie as well. So that's what we've accomplished since we saw you last. And as always, I'm happy to take any questions on any of the projects that we have listed.
Anyone?
So the poles that are wrapped in Rio aren't a county thing, that's a private individual? Okay. They look,
We don't know who to thank.
they look really good.
They do.
Is that the way it is in all of them? All the banners are privately installed?
So each CRA does it a little bit differently. It depends on funding, Bert. You know, some CRAs have a little bit more funding to do things like that than others. So, for example, this year Jensen really wanted to have Christmas decorations, so we went in that direction. Banners are generally funded by the CRA for any of the areas that wish to have them. So that's usually the way it works. Decorations are different. Sometimes commissioners will pitch in or have some ideas about that. Sometimes the chambers do stuff like that. And then in Rio, we do have other individuals who shall apparently remain nameless, I'm not sure, who have some community spirit and
And a whole
decide
lot of
to.
Christmas decorations at their house.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? Moving on to old business. CRA Investment Program project completion.
Jana, did you put it on the?
Yes, it's on the desktop, PowerPoint.
Oh, thank you.
Good afternoon, Jana Cox, Office of Community Development. Once again, I have a completion report for our CRA investment program. This was applicant number 12, and it's in Hobe Sound. If you're familiar with the Hobe Sound Beach Shop, it's just east of the new brewery that's going in Hobe Sound. So hopefully that will help them with their business, but it's a cute little shop right on the main Bridge Road. A little bit about the program, and I talk about this every time, but this was a property improvement program that they were approved for, and we started back in November of 2022. Can you believe how fast that's gone? The program type was property improvement. They improved their parking lot. They did a repair to an exterior architectural element, which was the roof. And they actually replaced their EV charger in the back. And again, I said decorative pavement because the parking lot was decorative. In Hobe Sound, they are in the core subdistrict, which qualifies for the CRA investment program. Here are some pictures. The new roof is on the right, the new EV charger, and the brand-new parking lot decorative stone. It's quite an improvement if you look at the before picture and after. She's quite proud of her new pavement, if you want to stop by and see it. The roof had quite a few leaks and electrical problems, so they got that replaced. It was actually leaking inside, so that fixed that problem. Again, with the pavement, they put in new striping, and she saw them all week down on their hands and knees painting it, so it was not just a repaving, it was a nice job. This is the project cost summary. It looks at what the proposed costs were and how much they actually paid for this improvement. You'll notice on the EV charger, it only cost her $75 when she thought it was going to be over $13,000 because it was under warranty, and she got a brand-new charger. This shows where to apply. Our website is up to date now, and it has actually the video that I showed you last time. So if anybody's interested and you direct them towards that website, it's quite extensive, and they can see how awesome this program is. And then the last slide is just, if you have any questions for me, I do hope to have a video. We did interview the owner, but they don't have it ready yet, so I hope to have it for our next Hobe Sound meeting. Then I can bring it here to our January meeting if you would like to see it.
Any questions? Thank you.
Welcome.
That's great.
Thanks, Jana.
More old business, meeting dates revised.
Should we look at the next tab? There's two. Yeah, that one, and then go down to page.
Thank you. So last month, we did talk about our meeting dates for for annual 2025, and I made several mistakes. I discovered another one today. So I'm going to say May 19th is our new date for May. December 15th, our new date for December, and I'd like to change June 23rd to June 30th. And yes, I will need a motion.
Anybody like to make a motion?
I make a motion, we change the dates as presented, plus which one?
June 23rd to June 30th.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
No, all I really have is to say happy holidays to everybody, and I think that this meeting is a record, Dr. Santel.
We're not quite finished.
Spoke too soon.
Okay, any more public comments? Any from the members?
So I just want to just clarify for our next NAC meeting, I guess the request to have things itemized as far as what we've already spent.
We've done a expenditure report for you before. I'll ask OMB to do that.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Just a couple of comments. One, I apologize for not being here last meeting. I had something already on the schedule from a long time ago. The other is it looks like this is probably my last meeting as chairman. So it's been a good year. I've enjoyed it, even the ones that were a little heated. I enjoy those.
That's why you do this, Rex.
So, yes, I've enjoyed every minute of it. I'll see you all next year in another chair.
Perfect.
Anything else from the county staff? No, we're good. So if nothing else, I'd like to adjourn this meeting.